goodness. 3 freaking cameras and I couldn't get any of them working. Yeah, I had to go through 3 cameras trying to get to one of them to work. This is crazy. Are you sure we're not in Mercury retrograde? It's like once we got into the shadow period, I've been having nothing but problems. It's crazy. Stars. This shadow period is killing me. Oh my goodness. Oh. So the first, yeah. I'm hibernating. Oh my goodness. I didn't, yeah. Are you making fun of her? Jojo, did you want to read it tonight? Ongoing alert. Now what? What's it telling you? Did you want a reading tonight, Jojo? This is crazy. Just lacking its star, I mean, Jojo. How's Star tonight? Does Star want a reading? So I had some more information to add to the healing technique jump in my lap. It may simplify some of what we're reading through, hun. May simplify things. You too, huh? Good. We'll have to talk. Hey, Jano, how are you tonight? Who would like a reading? Yes to the reading. Okay. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm getting better and better every day in every way. Yeah, let me do stars real quick. I was waiting for you to come back on, Starling. Okay, let me get stars. Man, how you doing? Okay, everything's on hold, girl. Somebody's stuck in their head. Oh my gosh, this is reminiscent of somebody I read for earlier. I'm gonna pull one more card. There, I got 2. Oh, honey, you scaring the hell out of them. Okay, Knight of Cups. I'm doing good, man. Look at this, girl. Everything's on hold. Somebody wants to offer a cup of love, but from what I'm looking at, You got them shaking in their boots. Okay? But I think they're going in and doing some soul searching. We love you too, Crazy Crystal. Whether it's you or somebody else, hon, it's going in and finding their inner truth, okay? But I think it's this person. They want to offer a cup of love, but everything's on hold. I do think somebody's doing some soul searching, okay? But I do think that they have to walk away, either you or somebody else. I think it's somebody else. Yeah, not convinced, okay? Somebody needs to walk away from a situation, okay? But I think this is a double-edged card because I feel like they need to walk away from a situation, and you're ready to walk away into a new adventure, okay? But you know what, honey? Hang in there and be the empress you are. You got this, okay? Page of Cups, new beginnings in love. Very early beginnings of love, okay? Emotional fulfillment. It's there. It's there at this point in time, okay? But it's on a break right now. It's on a break. So I think somebody needs to shift their thinking around to the positive. And yes, you can donate, hon. Um, you can they're changing their thinking around some situations. Okay, they're changing their thinking around some situations into something more positive, something more long term. Okay, but honey, you scared the shit out of them. You scare the heck out of them. You do. You know. Yeah, I see. Where's the horns holding the halo up? I think they're doing a lot of soul searching, you know, but they've got to walk away from something, and you need to be ready also to walk away into a new venture. Okay, it's not just them. You've got to work on that too. Okay, that makes sense, hon. Okay, question for Darlene: can somebody keep a list for me through all the freaking cameras? Look at this camera. We got cords everywhere. Camera. Where'd my pendulum go? Where is it? There it is. I'm telling you, this shadow period is kicking my butt. Oh my god. Till the first. I have to look for things coming back until the first. Okay. Permission to ask questions for Darlene. Okay. Are things gonna be okay at home for how long are you gonna be gone? A week, Darlene? Is everything gonna be at home? while Darlene is in Pennsylvania. I get a yes. That's my yes. Quit worrying, hon. I told you. Put it into God's hands and have faith and trust. If you don't trust yourself, if you don't trust your son, have some faith in the universe. Okay? Have some faith in the universe. And if you're going to worry about it, have a backup plan. Like Jenna suggested, okay? That makes sense, hon? So I met a gal at the wedding the other night that has just made a oracle deck. She says, "Oh my God, I didn't realize the process I was going to go through, the healing I was going to go through," and she left before I could get her name, and the name of her deck. So I'm going to have Joe find it out. Have you know, I have doubts in myself sometimes, Darlene. I second guess myself, but I never ever doubt the universe. So what are you not allowing yourself to have to experience because you're worrying about that? Have some faith and trust in the universe, hon. Okay? Okay, so Jano, did you have a particular question, hon? That's okay, Jano. Was this your first date with her? Okay. I need to clarify these two. Okay, because I think that she sees you as something long term and stable. I think that she might come on a little bit strong. Okay. Well, Ten of Pentacles, something long term stable. Okay. Eight of Wands is something coming in very quickly. You know, but I would be careful because take your time getting to know this person. Because I don't like to use that word. I kind of feel like maybe she can be a flake because she seems to follow. Ooh, attention deficit. No, I don't have attention deficit. Ooh, shiny. Okay, I think she follows her passions, her desires. Okay, get to know this person. I think that you are walking away from carrying everybody else's burdens. Master Manifester, how are you tonight? Okay, you're walking away from carrying everybody else's burdens. You're gathering your resources and you're walking away. I showed the universe is opening up new pathways for you. It may be in three different directions. Take your time, get to know this person. Okay? Because I have the Seven of Swords. This has with this one, it has two interpretations. It's somewhat lies, theft, deception. But see, since okay, let me put it this way. You're walking away from carrying everybody else's burdens. You're gathering up your resources and walking away from things. The universe is opening up new pathways for you, but you're walking away and you have some regrets with something that you have walked away from. Okay? Thunder, thunder, I was lightning before the thunder, thunder. Yeah. Okay? Because this could be lies, theft, and deceit, but to me, with this particular card in this deck, to me, this is somebody walking away from a situation with regrets. So you've walked away from something. You have lots of potential, lots of opportunities coming up, but you need to let go to with you need to let go of whatever you are regretting walking away from. Okay, it's part of your healing process. Okay, but like I said, the universe is opening up. There's three deer in here. That's telling me you have at least three opportunities coming in. Okay, you're gonna have to make some choices and decisions. You're gonna have to narrow it down. Take your time with all these options. Don't rush into anything. Okay, does that make sense? Does that make sense? But you need to let go of something. Okay. How you doing tonight, Master Manifester? Did that make sense though, Jano? Okay, Priscilla, what's your question, hon? Did you have children in that marriage? Did you have children in that marriage, Jano? Okay, that's what you walked away from was regret then. That's what you walked away with regret from. I don't care, but there's you may co-parent, but I would sit down and look at your feelings around not being around your kids all the time. Does that make sense? There's nothing there yet, hon, in PayPal. Not yet. Oh, okay. Yeah, because it's not showing anything yet. Yeah, yeah. Feeding your kids is always a transition. I've been fine. How are you doing, Antonella? Okay, Priscilla was. Did you just break up with somebody, or you got somebody from the past that has the potential of coming back? Because I have the judgment card. Anything you thought was over and done with is not over and done with. Yeah, yeah. But but there's something or someone coming back from the past. But you know what, hon? I think you left it in the first place because it was not an even give and take. Okay. Did this person like to party? Lucky you. Okay. Did this person like to party? Because I feel like in this instance, because it's a wish card, but I feel like this person liked to party, or somebody liked to party. Okay. But I kind of feel like you need to work on your own stability. Okay. This could be the beginning of something long term stable. If you gave somebody the boot because they weren't giving enough or they weren't balancing things out, there's a potential for new opportunity that could be long term and stable. Okay. But the death card talks, there's been a transformation and change. Okay. There's been a transformation and change. But I want you to pay attention because you have it in here twice. Is this person the next time around going to be open to giving and receiving? Okay? Actions speak louder than words. Pay attention. No, but this is talking about someone from the past. It might be past life even. But there was, whoever it is, there was not an even give and take. Well, it's never going to be even. There was not an exchange of energy. There was more balance. Okay? So pay attention. Don't settle. Make sure they give you as much as you give. Okay? That makes sense, hon? You have a tendency to get into relationships where you do most of the relationship. Let me check. No. Nothing's come through yet, hon. Did that make sense, Priscilla? Don't settle. Don't settle. Go find everything that you want in a relationship within yourself and go and then go for it. Master Manifester, did you want a reading too? Oh, then. Is Jojo back? Did he get his phone call already? Yep. Don't settle. Make sure they're a giver too. Well, we can do a quick reading, Antonella. Let me do Antonella real quick. Maybe he'll be back. Are you going through a lot of new beginnings, hon? This is for Antonella. Nella. Nella. Are you going to school? Are you learning new things? Okay. I think you're stuck in your head. I think that you need to make some decisions and choices. You have lots of opportunities, lots of things to learn. You need to focus on one thing at a time at this point in time. And I want you to tap into your creativity at this point in time, okay? Yeah, studying. Okay, now you have some choices to make, hon. The universe is opening up a couple pathways for you. Yeah, it could be. It could be, you know. But I kept feeling kids, but I just second guessed myself. Okay, Nella. Okay, you've got some choices to make. You've got some choices to make. You have to decide which is the best pathway for you. Okay. But you know what? I have either pathway you take is a new beginning. You have to decide what is best for you. This could also be, okay, if you're dreaming about him, he might be thinking about you. Maybe, I don't know. But this is new beginnings. It's emphasized twice. This is learning your lessons and starting all over again with a clean slate. Okay? But you're not going to take, I'm telling you, Mercury retrograde shadow. Okay. You've gone through a lot of things. Okay? Hey, Jason. You've gone through a lot of transformation. You're learning to follow your intuition and knowing, but you know what, hon? You're not going to put up with any BS anymore, okay? Okay? But I do show that there's a potential for a new beginning in love. Whether it's with another person or with yourself, that's up to you. Okay? That's up to you. I do think that you do, I do think that you need to focus some self love on yourself. And until you do that, this person's not going to come in for you. But you are so ready for new beginnings on many levels, okay? Yeah. But you've got some choices to make that are coming up, okay? Pick, don't listen to anybody else tell you what's right or wrong for you. You have to pick. That's part of the lesson. You have to pick what is best for you, okay? Crazy Crystal. Teardrops, check messenger. Is JoJo back? You move out in one day to from one country to another, yeah. Hardly working, sitting in my excavator all morning, just walked back to the house to eat. You're welcome, hon. You've got a lot of changes coming on, huh? Jojo, Manifester, are you here, hon? Did you want a reading? Crystal, did you reading? Okay. Jojo. Jojo. Did Teardrops want a reading too? Off your phone. You don't know how to use your laptop? I'm having problems with my desktop. But you do not have to go with your past. You can ask him not to come back and see if that'll help. Okay, Jojo. I have 3102 for Jojo. Okay. King of Wands, maturing into, I think this is his artwork. It's going for his passions, his desires. You know, your daughter shaking her head. That's funny. Okay. So just look at this passions, desire, creativity. Okay. He's had to mature up into this level to where he's doing all this stuff. He's completed the lessons. Okay. He's walking through this bridge. He's walking through this gateway into new beginnings. Okay. And I think that's just the start of his path because we have the very early beginnings of the passion, the creativity, the communication around all of this. Okay. But I have the Two of Pentacles. Okay. He needs to watch. Tell her hi. Okay. He needs to pay attention. He's waiting for his ship to come in, but he needs to take the time to be open and receptive to it because he is so busy juggling everything that he might miss some opportunities. Okay. But you know what? He's got the prosperity and abundance coming in. Things are shifting big time for him. Okay. But I do show that he's got some things from the past that he needs to let go because I have the Knight of Wands. You know, I think on some levels that he's still wearing that he's still wearing a mask. I think that he doesn't let a lot of people know who he is now. He's kind of reserved about that. But I show that he's clearing out and clearing and cleansing a lot of the old growth. He's going through lots of transformation and change, and he's taking one step at a time to move toward his passions and his desires. Okay? Does that make sense? So we'll see what he says. Little energy thrower. Energy thrower, I'm old enough to be your grandma. Oh no. Who else wanted a reading? Teardrops, did you want a reading? Your grandma's around you a lot? Teardrops, did you want a reading? Star had a reading. Okay, okay, good. Star, what is my question? That's funny. Yeah, hold on, all Ben. Crazy Crystal, did you want one too? Teardrops. Okay, so what are you stressing about? stressing over something. Okay? Because I start the reading and end the reading with the Nine of Swords. This is coming out of depression and anxiety. Yeah, that might be it. I think that this is not done yet, your internet, but you're coming out a much wiser person on the other side. But you're waiting for something to come in and it's coming, and you're open and receptive to it. And then I have the Ace of Pentacles. The Ace of Pentacles is new beginnings of prosperity and abundance. I think that you're going, I think that you're going to, I think it's a good idea to get involved in some groups down there. Yeah, it's coming. It's definitely coming. And things are, it's in divine timing, but the more work you do on yourself for your growth, and I feel it's your growth, it's not anything else, okay? That it's shifting and changing things for you, okay? Because you are going within and learning to know yourself. And you are coming out a different person on the other side, much wiser, much, much wiser, okay? That makes sense, hon? It's coming. You're welcome. See, and hubby didn't hijack this one. This is all you. Who is next? Crazy Crystal? Master Manifester just came in for a minute and left, so I guess we're not doing her. Crystal, where are you? Crystal. She said she was down at a friend's house. I'm going to go ahead and do all band, and then if she comes back, if not, we'll timestamp it for her, okay? All band, did you have a question? Hot in here. Did you have a question, all band? Anything that comes out? Okay, something's coming in quickly. Okay, I want you to get out of your head and I want you to take a leap of faith. Okay, because the universe has your back. But there's something coming in. Okay, and it's coming in quickly. But he's at the edge of the cliff. He has to take a leap of faith. Right? And this is a fast moving energy. Hey Daisy. But you're in conflict with yourself about it. Should I, shouldn't I? You know? What should I do? So it's get out of your head. Get out of your head, okay? You need to let go of your fears. You need to make peace with your negative self-talk, with that beast within, okay? And all that, I really think that that book, The Dark Side of the Light Chasers, would really, really work well with you, okay? But You need to be loving, caring, nurturing, and gentle with yourself. Don't know how to use emojis on the computer. That's okay, hon. We got you. That's what all that matters. When you start making peace within yourself, when you start finding that love within yourself, okay, then I feel like what you're asking for, what you're looking for is going to come back. Okay? You're looking for that love and that peace. And this is a situation or a person from a past. It could be past life also, may not be this. But hon, you need to work on yourself. You need to find that love within yourself, okay? That value for yourself. And I think this is you reclaiming all those parts of yourself that you've given away to other people. Okay? You need to bring in people. Yeah. You need to recognize how awesome you are. And when you recognize how awesome you are, other people will recognize that also. Because this is forward movement. But you've got to work on you first. Don't worry about anybody else. You and your family. You've got to find that love within yourself. Go back to a time. Go back to the inner child. Because I'm feeling this is more like inner child. At some point in time, that inner child loved herself. Oh man, if you want to do some work on inner child stuff on Friday nights, let us know. We'll do that, hon. Okay? But if you do that, if you start tapping into memories of the happy parts of your childhood and stuff, I think that you're going to move forward very quickly, okay? Daisy, Daisy, give me your answer, dear. I'm not crazy, all for the love of you. It won't be a stylish marriage. I can't afford a carriage. But you look sweet upon the seat of a bicycle built for two. I always think of that song. Okay, so we're gonna we're gonna do one for Crazy Crystal and then Daisy. Just say no to fire signs. What does Crazy Crystal need to know? Oh, she's got some choices coming up. Okay, 4405 for Crystal. Okay, actually 4426. Okay, so Crystal, we have the Two of Wands. You've got some choices and decisions to make, hun. The big choice is which pathway is the best one for you. But just remember, you're welcome, Alban. Just remember, not making a choice is also a choice. Okay, so it's better to make a choice. I don't know whether it's a legal situation, a contract that's coming up, but there's got to be some balance in there. You're not seeing the truth in some situation, okay? But I do show that there's something coming in on your favor, okay? Working on that self love, okay? I feel like tonight this is more self love than it is relationships for everybody. But new beginnings in love, things that you're passionate about, you know, emotional fulfillment. You're walking away from the depression and the anxiety. You're coming out a much wiser person, okay? You're letting go of it. And you're doing this fairly quickly, okay? Again, this is a fast moving energy that's telling you you're going to need to take a leap of faith in some situation, okay? Because you are ready for a new beginning. You're ready to have that faith and trust in the universe and move forward, okay? You've completed the lessons. You're ready for the new beginning. But I do show that there's some emotional illusions that need to be let go of at this point in time, though. Okay, a fantasy, an illusion, something around love. But you know what? It's there's a new day dawning on that also. Okay, but you just need to be aware of it in order to clear it. Okay, that makes sense. Daisy, did you have a question? Ooh, excuse me. Hi, Mary. How are you? General. So how did you go? Did your day go with the two girls and the baby? Did the girls get along all right? Daisy has some ideas for oracle cards too. Ooh, what is going on here, girl? That's good. Okay. So, Daisy, I have the King of Wands. Okay, this is, and I know Gabriel's a Earth sign, but this is somebody that's very passionate, very creative, mature, may have a little bit of a tendency to be a player, may not stick to things like a King of Pentacles would. They may be a little bit flaky, okay? I do show that there's an Ace of Wands, which is new beginnings, of something passionate and creative. Look at all the passion and the fire in this. Okay? Lots of passion. So but look, this is being open and receptive to all that passion. Okay. It may have, I'm wondering if it has something to do with your job, because this is learning and studying new things. Or it could have something to do with your oracle cards, because I feel like the more you start looking into your idea for the cards, you're going to learn that there's a whole history, all kinds of stories out there for that. You may end up if you start doing research on it, you may end up even doing a book rather than the cards, Just an idea. But there's lots of potential out there, lots of prosperity, lots of abundance. A player, it may be somebody that gives a good a good line, but that doesn't mean you have to go for it, right? But you have to make some choices and decisions. You have to focus on one thing at a time, okay? Get out of your head and tap into your creativity. See, because you're in conflict here. You don't know what to do. You're stuck in your head about the whole situation. Okay? And it says the same thing. Should I, shouldn't I? Should I, shouldn't I? Should I, shouldn't I? Okay? But then I have the justice card. That's usually a decision in your favor, but there needs to be, okay, there needs to be some balance. There needs to be some truth and clarity. Uh, I would watch for some legal contracts, maybe. Maybe Gabriel will finally buy his house. Maybe he'll finally find something else that he's passionate about besides his car. Okay? But this is usually a decision being made in your favor, okay? But I, whatever you decide, it's gonna be fair and it's gonna be balanced, okay? That makes sense, hon? I went to let Titi out the other night and there was a raccoon out here on the deck. I had a little raccoon twittering and I said, oh, heck. Titi just ran out right past her off the deck to go do her thing. I said, what the heck? Okay, so Mary, hidden truth of my relationship. Is there a hidden truth in Mary's relationship? Did everybody leave? It got quiet. Star must not be here. It got quiet. Oh, Mary, you're welcome. Mary, is this okay? Anything that you thought was over and done with is not over and done with, okay? Because there's something or someone coming back from the past. It's not over, okay? There is something that you need to be aware of, okay? But I show that you're gathering up your resources and you're walking away from the situation. You're done, okay? You're gathering up your resources and leaving. The universe is opening up some new pathways with you, okay? But you are tired, exhausted. You just can't take it anymore, okay? You think, I'm never going to get there. I'm never going to get there. Don't focus on where you're going. I want you to focus on how far you have come. How much have I learned? How much have I completed? Okay? How much progress have I made? Okay? If you can focus on that, you've got some wonderful new beginnings in goals. Okay? Just remember, when you set a goal, your goals are going to shift and change a little bit every day. So what you want to do is focus on the things that you are achieving and knowing that as the energy shifts a little bit, the universe is going to be tweaking it in response to the inner changes that you make within yourself. Every time you focus on the things that you have, the things you have accomplished, then you are moving forward. And I think it's not just goals, it could be new job, new thought process. Okay, it could be new beginnings in spirituality. Okay, but you're going through lots of clearing and cleansing, hon. Okay, you've gone through you're halfway there. You've gone through half the obstacles, but you have pulled your bootstraps up. Okay, and you've been through all this. You say, okay, I know what the future obstacles are. I'm ready and able to to meet these challenges. Okay, I am ready for new horizons, new beginnings. I'm ready to move forward. but you have a tendency to get stuck in your head. Should I, shouldn't I? Should I, shouldn't I? Should I, shouldn't I? Start writing things down and prioritizing them. Or if you're stuck on a decision about something, write down what they are and write down the pros and cons on them and see if that doesn't help some, okay? But so at this point, because you're stuck in your head, you can't make a choice, you can't make a decision. You have all this love to offer, but it's all up in the air because you're stuck in your head. There's no forward movement. There's no communication. Okay? Does that make sense, Mary? Are you scared to go out there, too? She didn't even face this little dog a bit. She just went right out, looked at it, and walked right past it. I don't know if she thought it was a cat or what. Or no, I ain't messing with that. Did that make sense, Mary? You're welcome, Crystal. So a friend of mine was on here earlier. She's going to be she's Robin. I've known her for probably 7, 8 years now. Almost as long as Joe. Hey, Jack. And she's going to be having some classes, some things to do. Mary, I just did your reading, hon. Mary, I already did your reading. Maybe you're a little bit behind, hon. You're welcome, girl. Oh, my grandson's so cute. How you doing, Jack? Did you want a reading tonight, hon? Jack, did you want a reading? Oh, you stupid thing. I'm trying to screenshot. Oh, oh. So I will. I'm so sorry to hear that. So sorry to hear that. But you know what? Maybe the buttons came in to experience specifically what you did for him, all that love and compassion and unconditional love. Oh, thank you, Mary. I really feel like you gave that kitten exactly what it loved. Oh my gosh. And it's funny how people and animals always go right about around the time of their birthday. I'm smiling because, yes, feeling the button. Look at Daisy. Daisy, I told you Daisy is not very tall. I don't know if you can see it. Oh, Gina's a lot taller than Daisy. I know. I know, Jack. But you were the hospice this time, yeah. But you know what? That little kitty cat's gonna be waiting at the gates for you when you come. But nobody else could have probably given the kitty what you did. Somebody probably would have put him down a long time ago and not given him that unconditional love and healing. You know? It was spot on, Crystal. Good. Jack, is your dad still alive? CBD. Yeah. Oh, well, thank God for CBD. I don't know if you can see this one better. Please. Nope. Not let me show you. He died 20 years ago. Okay. But the only reason I'm asking is because I have the Emperor twice. Okay. But I have the King of Cups. Someone mature, loving, caring, feels things very, very deeply. And right now that sounds like you. Okay? Don't know how to express yourself, what you're feeling, all the love that you feel externally a lot of times. You're the last of your family. Yeah. You never know, Jack. You might meet somebody and have a child. Okay? You have lots of love to give, okay? But here we have the moon, okay? And I think this right now is dealing with the shadow side, which is the aspect of death at this point, you know, the dark and the light side, the shadow side and the light, okay? But the moon still shines light. Like I used to tell my kids, God put the moon up in the sky to light the sky so you wouldn't be scared at night, you know? So watch for things being blown out of proportion. Watch for mountains being made out of molehills. But just remember, hon, you are an emperor. Okay? You are a leader. You have a lot of you carry a lot of responsibility. Okay? And I know you're one of the gatekeepers too. But this is somebody that has a lot of responsibility, carry lots of burdens. Okay? It's like a father figure. And it's in here twice, it's emphasizing it. Okay? But you have some choices and decisions to make now. Which pathway are you going to take? And just remember that not making a choice is also a choice. So which pathway are you going to choose? You're going to take the easy way out, or you're going to take what is best for you out? But I do show that there may be some shifts and changes. Focus on the gratitude, focus on what you have. I would give gratitude for the time that you have had with Button and the unconditional love that's been shared between both of you, you know. Focus on the beauty of life. You try to give that cat an awesome life despite everything that it's been through, you know. Focus on the beauty. Focus on the gratitude. It's the new beginnings of it. And look, that pentacle too, it's ready and waiting for you. Okay? Are you going to accept it? I'll pull one more. making friends with the beast, whether it's inside of you or outside of you. Okay? You need to feed it love, compassion, and gentleness. That's really important at this point in time. See? There's you and your kitty. That love, that compassion, and the gentleness. That makes sense, hon? I hope that helps. Let's see. You and your kitty. You have a bond between the two of you. I'm sorry for the baby. You know, Tiki's 14 now. You think I'm not wondering what the hell I'm gonna do when she's gone? You know? My baby, my puppy, huh? She gets jealous of the baby. I had the baby yesterday. She gets jealous. Of course, I think she hasn't been feeling good all week too. She wants to be next to me all the time, and then the baby would come up and try to be next to me, and she'd make sure she squeezed in there and laid next to me. So yeah, we're sending much love to your little buttons, Jack. Refresh my memory, star. Refresh my memory, hon. Or are you talking to Jack? Yeah. Animals are so sweet. Yeah. Leader energy, yeah. Anything you can do, I imagine she would appreciate it, Star. You need to know what I think. If you already have a connection with her, then go in and do it. But I can go in too. Okay. Oh my God. Thank you, Jojo. Did you watch the reading, Jojo? Okay. Asking permission to work with Buttons. We're calling in her healing team. Okay, I'm going to bring in some. Yes, I did. Thank you, hon. I appreciate that. Wow. Did Star give you your note, your your bookmark, hon? I feel like Buttons has got pressure on the back of the brain. Hmm. Throw some arnica in there. And some very, very tired kitty. I feel that Buttons has made peace with the idea of going. The only reason that Buttons has held on so long is because of Jack. Oh, I'm gonna cry. Jack, this cat is more worried about you than they are about themselves. Do you see the pressure against the back of the skull, Star? Is it toward the back? It looks better. It actually looks like, well, I threw some arnica in there and I threw some ledum in there, which is for trauma for the body and for inflammation too. Let's see if that'll help some. But I see it pulling back away from the back of the skull. There's something on the right hand side too by the ear. Does that make sense, Jojo? Yeah. So I'm asking for Buttons Healing Team to open up the hyper field for us. Whoa. And we're asking permission with Buttons to go into the hyper field. Did you feel a shift? Did you see anything open up when I asked that, Star? The whole body is vibrating. Okay. It's almost like it's vacuuming up all kinds of little tiny pieces scattered all over the brain. Okay, I'm going to ask to realign both lobes in the brain and activate both lobes of the brain. It's vacuuming up like little pieces of something. I don't think it's blood. It hasn't got to the blood yet, but there's like little chips all over of something. Yeah, we're still awake. Star asked to tap into Button's hyperfield. How you doing, Casey? Yeah. Oh, I already lost one. I put him on for the wedding Saturday. I was trying to type on my phone earlier and I couldn't because of the fingernails. Cat is tired, physically tired. So we're asking to clear up all the blood, clear up all the miasm, clear up all the out of balance between the lobes, adjusting everything to the original blueprint in the hyperfield. If Button will accept it. Jack's little kitty is really sick and getting ready to transition. Yeah, we're working on Jack's kitty buttons. Jack, I really think this cat needs your blessings, but I don't feel that as strong as I did when we first started working on him. You had an epiphany today, hon? Did you care? Okay, ground yourself, Casey, and see if you remember. I couldn't remember anything the other night. Crystal kept asking me for information, and I couldn't remember anything. And then it dawned on me. I wasn't grounded. As soon as I grounded myself, I remembered it instantly, everything that she asked me for. Okay, buttons. You want to stay. Yeah, I had a girlfriend that had grand mal seizures all the time, and my sister-in-law um, had them too. Yeah. Star, did you ask to open up the hyperfield? Yeah, yeah. I'm asking to connect in the hyperfield with the original blueprint, the original design for buttons before the abuse, before the accident. This little kitty is actually sad for the person that caused it to happen. It was still a choice. It was still his choice. Can we also tap into the effect and physical reality? I know, Jack, but this is that's what I was picking up on. We all come in to be teachers for each other, whether we're human or animal, mineral, whatever, plant. I would think that enlightenment would mean understanding, a spiritual understanding. And pulling in energy from the ethers, from the mana, from the heavens, from the earth, and directing it to Button. Now, Casey needs a Kit Kat. How appropriate that she would come in when we're working on a cat. Casey's favorite candy is Kit Kat. I have to look. I didn't know I could record on my phone. Star, did the energy, any of the energy increase? I'm going to bring in energy for the four directions. There's still some kind of pressure in the back of the brain, the back of the skull. Working on clearing the pressure in the back of the brain. It's not a bleed anymore, but there's still pressure there. It's actually almost like the skull has not healed right and it's pressuring. I don't feel like Buttons wants is leaving. I don't feel that leaving is as urgent as it was when we started. I can't neutralize it because it's in the physical. Mm. The golden light of the Holy Spirit. You're locked out of the house. Oh, I don't feel like she's overheating, but I feel that she's stronger than the heart is stronger than it was when we started. The swelling's going down in the brain. There was a part of the skull that was malformed from the accident. It was poking inward. They couldn't neutralize and dissolve it because it was in the physical. I thought they could do that. Jack, how are you going to get back into the house? Okay, so Star, I went in and did some work to try to smooth the back of the skull where it was poking the brain. Does that look smooth back there to you? Where you originally saw the bleed, it's like I don't see the bleed anymore. I see the pressure starting to go down a little bit. But do you see anything else in that area that needs to be like smoothed out? She's up and eating. I don't know what to think of this. I keep thinking that this cat could live another 20 years. I don't know where that's coming from. Okay, I feel that the front right leg has some pain in it. Does she limp, Jack? Yeah, it's in the area where the bleed was. I tried to smooth out all that area, but can you look and see if I missed any spots? But does she limp at all, Jack? Because I feel like this part of the front leg maybe needs to be massaged occasionally or something. She ripped it open, tearing her front claw. Oh, oh my goodness. Yeah, nasty surgery. Okay, I'm asking to tap into a harmony board and a harmonizer. I'm asking to put buttons on the harmonizer and a harmony board. Good night, Casey. Give me a message tomorrow, honey, when you get a chance. I want to know how you're doing. Okay. Thank you for the donation too, Jojo. And you have a good night, Jojo. We all love you too. How's she doing now, Jack? I don't feel the urgency to leave anymore. In fact, I feel like she's just like, oh, that was just a passing thought. Have the shake. Okay, I'm gonna ask Archangel Michael to insert through the crown chakra and fill the body with the golden, not the golden, the emerald green light for healing. And it does look smoother, Star. I think it's alleviated a lot of the pressure. I'm gonna, okay, so we're asking for signal energy along the front right leg. And Yeah, I see the smoother spot. It looks a lot better now, Star. The natives are often misquoted. Yeah, today is just as good as any other, but not today. Hi, Divine Universe. How you doing? Are you serious? Are you? You're not shitting me. Yeah, it's not touching anymore, hun. And I don't feel the urgency to leave because the cat was so sure that she was going that she wanted Jack's blessings. And now it's like, oh, I changed my mind. She's taking credit for it. It's not so much the paw, it's like all this area in here, her front right leg, not so much the paw. I was kind of wondering if it hadn't broke a bone along with getting everything else smashed. Love and hugs to you too, hon. We're working on Jack's kitty right now. Hold on. Wow, whoever is working on her leg is doing it super fast. Somebody's somebody else is taking care of that. Star, I feel pain in the jaw right here. There's some pain in the jaw area on the right hand side. So can we alleviate that pain? Monica, breathing. Yeah, there's pain shooting up from the jaw into the side by the eye. We're working on a kitty cat. Somebody is working on the right leg. Right now I'm feeling the pain in the jaw up into the head, just over the eye. There's some pain in there. Does she have problems with the right eye, Jack? It's just above the eye, comes down the side and comes down to the jaw where it hinges. But yet she's eating. But it may hurt when she eats. Either that or she's got a bad tooth. Okay. Somebody's doing some kind of psychic surgery on her leg, so, and they're doing it fast. So I don't know who it is, but I want to give thanks to them. Wow. Yeah. And there's no way to put anything in her mouth when she sees them, hun. Piece of leather or something. She shifted the jaw. Okay. What do you mean, my mother? You're talking about your mom, Star? You think your mama's sewing her like whoever it is? They're working fast, very 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 fast. Uh huh. Boy, she has an attitude, doesn't she? She's like telling me, okay, I'm fine now. You can leave. Okay, so if you're having any problems, buddy, you have my permission to reach out to me for healing work, and I'm sure Star will grant permission also for you to reach out. The jaw looks better, it feels better. A little sore. That might be from the season. She's like a wriggle queen. All right, you're dismissed now. What the heck? Is she like Queen of the Cats, Jack? She's very regal. And there's no urgency to leave now. Because when I first went in, she was like, here's the physical body, and her spirit was about this far off from it. She didn't think it was possible that we could do what we did, Star. Wow. We surprised her. Yeah. She's the only girl. Yeah. So she's the queen. She's definitely she thinks that she's the queen too. So I think she'll sleep good tonight though. I'm hoping the work we did tonight will help with the seizures. She didn't want any more healing tonight. Yeah. She's just surprised. She didn't think it was possible for us to do what we did. Wow. She does say thank you though. In a very queenly manner. That's funny. I don't give them big salmon 2 or 3 times a month. They get funny death. Yeah, I'm not showing anything either. She's just surprised. She's very, very surprised at us. I know. It's bedtime. Oh, see what I have to put up with? Huh. Yeah. So they're familiar with you. This is what mine is doing right now. Hmm. Come on, Mom. It's bedtime. Pinky. Pinky Bell. He's like, oh, heck no, it's bedtime. See his doggy treats on the floor and her little bed on the couch. And, oh, no, she's not spoiled either. She's not spoiled one bit. Buttons hates steak, and Buttons hates steak. Yeah. It's your fault, Tinker. Oh, my goodness. He's like, it's past. It's our bedtime. I put in some golden light earlier when we were putting some, when she needed the energy. But yeah, go ahead and fill it in again because it might have sucked it all up because she needed the energy. Yeah. Yeah, now all we need is Tinkerbell to be. Good, 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 good. I I have never ever seen such a turnaround. She was ready to go. All she wanted was Jack's blessings. See, there's a reason I came on tonight. You're not starving like that, little puggy. You're just an old girl, huh? Yeah. You're welcome, Jack. I'm glad we could make a difference. Yeah, don't wait that long again. You could always message on Instagram. And you give that kitty cat a kiss for us. You know? Oh, what happened? The camera the right way. Yeah. There's no reason to, when somebody's in need like that, Jack, there's no reason to wait. You know, get a hold of us. Yeah. No, we need his Tinker. Yeah. Little Tinky. Her not sleeping in her bed. She says, I'm hungry. I want to go to bed. She spent 2 nights. I was worried about her for 2 nights because she didn't eat before she went to bed. And she was really super clean, so I know she wasn't feeling good. And then she walks in the room and she looks to see if I have anything in my hands because she knows I'm going to pull the bottle of tincture of ginger out and give it to her. Oh, she absolutely hates ginger. She looks at both my hands. What are you going to do to me now? You're going to put bag balm on my nose because my nose is so dry? Are you going to give me ginger? Are you going to throw me in the bath? She's going to have a bath tomorrow. Yeah. Well, if you just need any help, you know how to get a hold of me. You got 4 days in there, 12 hours. Hold on, Jack. Let me look. Okay. So there are homeopathic remedies for cats. Let me see if it says on here. I was looking for specifically for seizures, allergies, kidney problems, pancreatitis. That doesn't say on this one. So, is there? Can you call around, or can you look and see if there's any veterinarian doctors that do homeopathy, Jack? Okay, so there was head trauma. It says arnica, which I threw some arnica in there. Natrum sulfuricum, Helleboris, and opium may be indicated in cases with head trauma. But I would call Washington Homeopathics. You could also talk to them. But if you can find a homeopathic doctor that does a veterinarian that does homeopathic medicine, which I think would be more of a possibility there in California. Okay, but I would check into that, medicine is usually less expensive than what you get at the vets also. So call Washington. Okay, it's Washington Homeopathics, or it's homeopathic work, homeopathyworks.com. They have a phone number you can call them, and I think they're in California. But you can. There's a phone number to call them. That might be a route to go, Jack. But I know that I threw some arnica in there, and I threw ledum in there. Ledum is for trauma to the body. But arnica, like this one said, arnica is used for head trauma. And you would probably get like a 6 or a 12C. But it's homeopathyworks.com. Oh my God. Okay. Call homeopathyworks.com then. They have a phone number. I took Tinky in for her shots, and they cut her toenails. They did her shots. They did her exam. He tested a little lump, and it's just fatty tissue. $65. Yeah. Good night, teardrop. But Jack, if you've got any homeopathic stores close by, I would get some arnica at least and see if that helps. But I added some arnica for now. Scheduled for Smithson. Is it coming in through the back, Star? Ooh, things in colored it black. It's not clear like a stealth cord, but they tried to hide it. Somebody that doesn't know what they're doing. They're trying to sneak in. It's somebody that doesn't know what they're doing. They're playing around with it, Jack. Does that make sense, Star? Jack, do you have problems with the right hip? it's almost like I see a red dagger into your hip. Instead of having like a knife that fits into a sheath, it's like it's stabbed into your hip area, just like inside the hip bone. What else does Jack have? I keep getting drawn to that knife in the hip. You see that star? Oh my. Okay, Jack, ask your healing team to send that knife back to the hyperfield. Okay, so we're going to, okay, I'm going to neutralize and dissolve this cord back out of the body. I want to encapsulate it and send it back to whoever it came from. Encapsulate it, never to return back to Jack. So I don't want to encap. Okay, I am asking for Jack's hyperfield, his effect and physical body, effect and physical reality be projected from any more daggers, cords, attachments. Fealties, communities, where did that come from? That are coming back at him. And we're asking for these all to be sent back to the hypofield, the effect and physical reality. And then return back to source to further heal. Jack, maybe you should reverse that. Maybe you should open up to vulnerability. Vulnerability is a superpower. There's something about vulnerability that can be very protecting. So maybe you need to do the opposite of what you've been doing. Because a lot of times when you lower your barriers, they did this at one of the access classes I went to. She stood up there, she goes, okay, everybody look at me and tell me what you think of me. And people were throwing out stuff. She goes, so I'm going to lower my barriers. And I want you to, when I lower my barriers, I will let you know. And I want you to tell me all these things, make all these comments about me. Okay? This auditorium was totally silent. Because once you lower those barriers, that can also be a form of protection. Does that make sense? Star, can you see what frequencies they're on? Can you temporarily shut down what frequencies they're on? I have Rob blocked now because I I temporarily closed the frequencies. I temporarily closed the frequencies that he's coming in on. Because look, Jack, what you resist persists. You know? And sometimes we have to back down. And when we are vulnerable, we are trusting that the universe is going to protect us. You know? So that may be another form of protection that you need to look at, is allowing the vulnerability. The more you resist, it persists. When you ask if you're the source, I get no, and then I get a small yes. So I get a big no and a small yes. So you might be partially responsible for it, but I think it's everybody else's BS at this point, Jack. I get a small yes. Only a small portion of it is self-sabotage. Back of the head, the bottom. I keep getting one in the middle of his back, and it's huge. And it's somebody that's clumsy and doesn't know what they're doing. And the one coming into the back of the head is black and it's got a silver streak on it. I'm thinking that, you know what? I'm thinking that's past life. That's past life. Because if there's a silver cord connected to it, that's probably the self-sabotage. Does that make sense? Who is helping without knowing? Oh, Jack is? Okay. I'm telling you, that one at the bottom of this, I think that's past. Many, many past lives. And it probably is self-sabotage. Okay, so, Colin Jackson, if it's for his highest good, we're asking to neutralize and dissolve the cords. Okay, we're neutralizing, dissolving the energetic imprints, the energetic miasms, the energetic ancestral patterns, ancestral karma, ancestral spells that are coming in on this cord. We're going to neutralize and dissolve all those patterns, all those hyperfields, and send them back to Source for healing. I'm asking for the one that is coming in through his back, the large one. I'm asking that to be neutralized and dissolved and sent back to whoever that came from with consciousness and love. Star, are you sending them back? Are you sending them back to the person with love and consciousness? Try that. When you do that, hon, send them back to that person with love and consciousness. If they try to send them back to Jack again, they're going to have a hard time doing that. They're going to have a hard time dealing with the love and consciousness because they don't understand that concept. I'm also asking for any cords coming in through the astral plane or any cords that Jack has picked up going through the astral plane, not being aware that he is going through the astral plane. All of those that are not of his highest good to be neutralized and dissolved and sent back to Source for healing with love and consciousness. Whoa. Jack, did you feel a shift? That was weird. Because what I saw, it was like there was like this burnt outer shell outside of Jack. As soon as I said that, it went everywhere. It just expanded out everywhere and left. It's almost like you had this burnt outer shell. And it's gone. Jack, let me know if your hip feels better after this. Because I don't show it there anymore now. Cord in your back's gone. I still see a silver cord attached to the back of your head, but that might be from venturing out into the astral plane. So Jack, instead of going to, okay, Jack, instead of going out into the astral plane, ask permission to go into the hyperfield. Explore the hyperfield, not the astral plane. The hyperfield or hyperspace. Jack, when's the last time you sit down and physically or energetically grounded? I feel you're a little bit grounded, but you're not grounded into the earth chakra. That might be why you're picking up stuff in the astral plane. The hyperfield is, how do I explain it? Every archetype, every aspect of what we are is in the hyperfield. Okay? Everything that we are is in that hyperfield. Whether it's like numerology, the Kabbalah, or astrology, or archetypes on physically on the earth, they're spiritual archetypes of who we are on all levels imaginable. Not the Jungian archetypes. This is the spiritual archetypes of everything that you are. Bringing together all aspects of everything that was brought together to create who you are. But before you get to that collective consciousness, there's like a it's almost collective consciousness, but as you come down from the collective consciousness, okay, when you're in the collective consciousness, you make choices and decisions about who you are, what you're going to learn, what personality you are, every aspect. Okay, it's like your spiritual DNA. Let me put it that way. It's your spiritual DNA, and it's just below your collective consciousness. Does that make sense? It's above the unconscious. It's between the unconscious and the superconscious. There's like a little, it's part of your spiritual blueprint. Let me put it that way. It's above the state brain. It's here's your collective consciousness, and then there's this hyperfield. Okay, it's agreed on things of who you are. It's your spiritual DNA. That's all I can say. If you could go in and learn to work with that, I need to explore that more. But if you can, we'll talk about that. But if you can learn to explore that you know how we're talking. It's funny that this came up now because we're talking about archetypes in the physical. The archetypes in the physical help define who you are here. Okay, because and you've got more than three archetypes anyway, because one may be stronger than another at different times. You're working through these different archetypes. But this is a spiritual DNA of who you are. If you can learn, and I'm studying on this, if we can learn to go into that hyper field and explore that spiritual DNA, we can tap into the greatness of us. And that's what it says. The Jungian says if we can learn about our archetypes, we can tap into who we are with our gifts, talents, and abilities and expand and improve on who we are. It's like a personal, okay, so it's almost the level of, okay, so it takes the hyperfield in the astral plane to create the effect in physical reality. So they're on the same level. They're different aspects though. Okay? But the hyperfield is your own personal spiritual DNA of who you are and your archetypes of who you are. Before you come into the earth plane, let me see if there's a definition. Travel 540 pathways of the 9 primary routes. Well, you're probably right. I just haven't tapped into that yet. Okay. Let me see what it says. These symbols, these archetypes are the simplistic expression of consciousness, which are the root of all languages and other forms of communication, can be viewed clearly from hyperspace, a realm which is accessed through the so-called unused part of the brain. The dictionary is designed to be used in two ways. Okay. There's no limits to the number of archetypes that exist in the universal mind. These are some of the more basic ones to get you started. But it goes in, because I was going to talk to Star about this anyway, because it kind of goes into the chakras, and which I know a lot of that stuff, but it's okay, here it is. Okay. Hyperspace, a plane where time and space do not exist and all events happen simultaneously. Okay. Uh, Even colored geometric shapes, these thought patterns are called archetypes. They're the visual representation of a person's mind pattern. Whatever a person thinks, whatever ideas, emotions, or beliefs comprise that individual is immediately shown in this colored archetypal form. You can learn the reason for the joy and instant knowing is because you can now read for yourself who and what you are when you access this. Okay? But you forget it when you come back to the physical plane. Underlying physical realities are layers of various energies that manipulate the atomic structures of all existence. These energies are controlled by the mind. To further explain, whatever is thought directs energies to create that thought. The more powerful the energy behind the thought, the faster the manifestation. The mind patterns, okay. Symbol of archetypes and associated colors is the purest form of language and communication that exists, taking place on the God or created frequency, which is the common language of beings everywhere. Now, where's my marker? As consciousness descends away from this purity toward density of physical realities, the pure form becomes tainted. The colors and archetypes translate through the brain as pictographs in the individual group mind. Next, they become physical gesture for every primitive society, then verbal language, and finally written language. The dream state contains archetypes that cannot be communicated from the super or subconscious mind to the conscious mind, primarily to and comprehension and conventional. Mind pattern archetypes have an important relationship to the physical body. Energies from the thought behind the archetypes create the DNA sequence that develops the body. As you think, so you are. Mind patterns create sentences of archetypes, which are written in groups of four. One archetype from each of the four proteins which comprise every person's DNA. Each protein is a translation of an archetype sequence into a DNA sequence. People who understand archetypes and their sequences can literally, completely change themselves by manipulating the archetypes. And sequences with a thought color, certain color archetype codes can unlock specific DNA codes. But you have to be careful on the opening up of the major DNA sequences before their appointed time, because they can trigger Kundalini. Anybody who's seen crop circles has seen archetypes. So it says those of you who use templates on your radionic machines use a form of archetype, which matches an identical archetype in your auric field or in the auric field of another. I've had this book for a long time. I'm just getting back to it. The meaning behind the human body, illness, mind patterns, and auric fields. Yeah. And I have to look up what you said, Jack. I got to look that up. So, veneer teaching. Travel. 540 pathways of the 9 primary realities. Yeah, but this is the DNA that all comes together. Yeah, yeah. This is more than just the physical, though. More than just. So where do you get tested for that far back, Jack? I know you've got some old DNA because I think the Native Americans are some of the oldest DNA on the earth. They're the most unique on the earth. So I watch a program called Tribals. It's where they show music and symbols and pictures and movies and stuff to some people that are from some of the oldest cultures, and they give their explanation. I just love some of their enthusiasm and stuff about things, and they talk about how they don't understand the language, but they talk about the music and how it makes them feel and things, and they correspond to what these songs are expressing too. Yeah, I believe that, Jack. And why are you going to be the last of your kind? You may still meet somebody, Jack. You're not too old. The royal bloodline. Yeah, that makes sense. Ah, yeah, makes sense. I was listening to a program on the programs they have out there, 23 and Me and Ancestral and stuff, and yeah, how they pretty much generalize everything. Now, my cousin had a book. Now, mind you, these are LDS, these are Mormons. They started out Mormons, then they split, the church split, and the followers of Joseph Smith stayed in Missouri and Iowa and Nebraska, while the followers of what's his name went to Utah. I have a lot of relatives all over in Utah. Ah, and forgot where I was going. I forgot what I was saying. She's a Chippewa. She's a one of a kind. Yeah. Music. What was I saying about music? You have to remind me what I was saying if anybody was listening. Oh, so the tribals, right? They're listening to the music, and I watched one the other night. They taught some of these tribals how to use a hula hoop. And this was a different channel, but it was four younger guys, okay? And they were very enthusiastic about watching these videos. Then they pulled out a video. Yeah, it's 11 here. Okay, just let me finish the story and we'll close it out because I imagine everybody's tired. So they pulled out a Native American hoop dancer. These guys were blown away. This guy is supposed to be the national champion Native American hoop dancer. And he would, you know, pick up these hoops off the ground with his feet and then work them all over his body and do all these wonderful things that they do with the hoop dance, make wings and balls. And these guys were cheering him on and they were having a ball. Oh man, this guy's good. This guy's good. This guy's awesome. I can't even do one hula hoop. And look at what he's doing with like 50 hoops. And wow, they were really, really, really impressed. You were excommunicated from the LDS church. Well, anyway, the book shows the water pattern. Maybe boy was too well. Yeah, I believe that. Okay. The book that she gave me, I still have this book, talks about the water currents. Okay, so the 12 tribes of Israel had a meeting, and the last place that they had the meeting, two of the lost tribes of Israel disappeared. If they followed the water currents from where they disappeared from, they would have ended up in South America and Central America, which made a lot of sense to me because look at the correspondence between, some of the names in South America and Egypt, you know. You were just being you, Jack. Yeah, I thought the LDS church was all wonderful and good until I started seeing the undercurrents in it. It's all well and good when the men show how wonderful they are in front of other people, but when they're at home, they're beating the shit out of their wives. You know, I'm not saying all of them, but there was, yeah, a lot of abuse going on, and yeah, but it was an interesting book. Whatever happened, okay, the way my past life story was, everybody ended up in Central America, South America, and in the Four Corners area because of the flood. When Atlantis sunk, they ended up in South America, Central America, and the Southwest. Yeah, yeah. There's, they act like there's no connection. You know, they act like there's no connection. And all these people act like Jesus was white. Jesus was olive skinned, you know? And I was telling some of the practitioners yesterday, I said, I wish to God I would have saved this video. I have to check and see if I did save it. This comedian goes around and does interviews, okay, all around the country. He went into a church in the South and he told this Southern woman, white woman, if Jesus was in your church, would he not invite blacks in? And she goes, yes. And he would be wrong. What? What? You believe he's the Son of God, but yet you believe that he's wrong. Yeah, yeah. A lot of things didn't add up. I thought it was all good and metaphysical and everything at first until I started getting into it more. And I have to say, they were at a point in my time to where I needed the help, you know. And if I ever get to a point where I'm financially independent, I will probably pay them back for everything they did for me. They probably think I only went for that reason, but no, I was actually looking for some answers and some truth, and they're still trying to get me to go back. But, when I talk in metaphysical terms, the ladies that come over and visit, they say, well, that's exactly what the church teaches. It's just a different way of saying it. It's like, okay, you know. And what do I tell you all the time, Jack? Question everything, even what I tell you. You know, question everything, even what I tell you. So, yeah, yeah, yeah. And they are. They're awesome. They do raise the vibe. You know. I'm trying to get this cord for this microphone out of my way because it's driving me nuts. I don't know if I'll leave this on or figure out. I'm going to take my computer apart tomorrow and find out what the heck's going on. This is the microphone, then it's the camera, and then it's the camera again, and yeah. They're very loving and giving, you know. And it's funny because a lot of their concepts are very metaphysical, you know. Very metaphysical. There may be some truth in what, you know, they're teaching. Question everything. Yeah. Question everything. They quit sending the missionaries over here because I would tell them stories and then they'd go back. They did. They quit sending the missionaries. That is so funny. I was corrupting the missionaries. Yeah. I know. I know, Jack. You know, but the thing that gets me is the religions, you know, everything turns into control. Everything is my way or the highway, you know? It just, I still, like I said, I'm always telling everybody, I still think that the Native Americans are have the most truth because they held on to the teachings when everybody else got involved in the churches, you know? And I find it interesting how everybody's promoting, you know, saying that teachers are trying to indoctrinate children and everything, but they're not saying anything. They're not saying anything about what's happening with all the sexual abuse in the churches. Nobody's talking about that, are they? It's all well and good until the truth comes out and then everybody buries their head in the sand. You know? Yeah. But you know, it's you know, and they tell a story. There's I have I have been told stories by Native Americans and but I am pretty sure I read this one. There was a time when uh, the Native Americans looked out on they'd never seen a huge ship, right? So they didn't believe it existed. So they saw the water patterns in the ocean were weird. So the shaman went in and meditated and saw the ship. And once he saw the ship, everybody could see the ship. Okay? I know, Jack. So once they saw the ships, they saw the people. When the men came off the ships, each one of the 12 tribes of Israel was given a sacred handshake. The only ones that stuck to it were the Native Americans. Yeah. So they offered the sacred handshake, and these people didn't know what the sacred handshake was. They said, oh, these people don't remember the teachings. So that means we've got some troubles coming, you know? So they, you know, and it's funny with, if you look at Native American prophecy, they do not say this is going to happen or that's going to happen. They say, if this happens, then that will happen. It's all an if because we have the time, we have the ability to change everything. What are we going to choose? Even the Bible code talks about that. The Bible code says that when we, you know, there are at least 5 different choices for every decision that we make. What are we going to choose? You know, what are we going to choose? And I try to, and I told the lady yesterday, Saturday night, I said, I try to empower people to heal themselves, question everything, and find their own truth. And these are practitioners for the Science of Mind Church. So, yeah. But I have watched Joe go through 3 years of classes down there now, and he has very much been humbled. Ah, I know, Jack. And I keep telling everybody. I make comments. I said, you know what? You keep saying don't trust the Democrats, vote for Republican, or don't trust the Republicans, vote Democrat. You know what? I said they all need to be impeached, and we need to start all over again. They all need to be impeached. I don't get a lot of comments back on that. Don't get a lot of comments on that. Why? Okay, Star, we're giving you we're giving you permission to talk. Can we be single for 4 years and see how that goes? Yeah, you're funny. Star, we're giving you permission to talk. Of the Archangel. Yeah. Well, looks like we have a few more people here. Does anybody have any comments or anything they want to make? We're kind of on, we're working around spiritual talk and politics. What we need is the young blood to get involved. They see things from a different perspective. They see how things have been, how they've grown up. These old men and women in Congress do not understand. The professional politicians are only in it for themselves. The common man was supposed to serve. Yes, I have a passport, but I need to look and see when it expires. Yeah. And my very first teacher, my very first mentor, always said, you know, there's going to come a time that we would have the book burnings, which what's kind of going on now, hiding the truth, going after the people that speak the truth, you know, and that Christianity would be turned into the Antichrist. Well, when you've got a woman sitting there saying that Jesus would be wrong, you can't tell me that that's not the Antichrist. Really? And and you know what? And I told somebody, I said, you know what? God is smarter than you. I said, because the skin colors of the people in the world are coordinated to exist in different temperature ranges in the world. You're looking, yeah. So you can't tell me God didn't outthink us, you know? George Orwell's last words. Okay. Okay. I'll do that tomorrow. Oh, teardrops. I thought you left. So, Jack, you've been going in and listening to some of Neville's stuff? You know, I've always said that Neville and Florence Scovel Shinn from back in the 40s have some of the simplest teachings. The simplest teachings. God is simple. It's us that complicates everything, you know? We love you back, Crystal. Now, 4 people have dropped off, so there was 4 other lurkers in here, Crystal. Miller Mars. My oldest daughter's gonna freak out. My oldest son used to lock her in the bathroom with a bunch of Miller Mars. Oh God, I can't click on that now, Jack. It'll take me out of here. Hi, Charlie. We're doing spiritual talk. If you have any spirituality questions or anything you want to talk about, we're very open-minded here, no judgment. Callie. Tell us about yourself, hon. Yeah, I'll watch it tomorrow. You might have to send it to me on Instagram though, because if I try to copy and paste it, it won't let me. Jack, how's the kitty doing now? So on one of the videos for Neville, he said this woman had all kinds of problems, financial. She was going to be kicked out of her house. She had no money. She had no family, anything. She was in the world by herself. So she started singing, and she had tons of problems, health problems, everything. So she started saying, "It is wonderful." Oh no! Oh no! Um, it is wonderful. Something wonderful is happening in my life now. She started saying that every day. Some guy appeared out of nowhere, knocked on her door, asked if she was who she was. She said yes. Somebody that knew her father had a settlement for her, and it was enough to get her into a house and give her an income for the rest of her life. Simple. Something simple. One of the things that I've been saying, you whisper it 1 to 3 times before you go to bed. Thank you, universe, for showing me that my health problems are resolved and healed. That and then I found this bottle. This bottle, I've been looking at it for a whole month. This bottle is by somebody that wrote a book that shifted my life 40 years ago. He's got an herbal company. He wrote a book called The Way of Herbs. That changed my whole life, set me off on a healing path. When I need it, all of a sudden, I've been looking at this bottle for a month. I finally looked at it, and it says for digestive issues. I said, oh. Started taking it within 24 hours, my breathing capacity doubled. Yes. Oh yeah. So so the guy teaching the Neville stuff, he said, for 10 minutes as you're going to sleep, visualize what you want. He's got one where you visualize you're on a ship, you're sitting in a chair, you're smelling the sea air, you're hearing everybody in the pool laughing and carrying on and having fun. You relax. You feel you feel the waiter bringing you drink, and you take a drink of it, and you can taste it. Well, I taste pineapple juice, right? Ice cold pineapple juice. I love it. And then you look up and you see two people in your family or your family and friends walk up to tell you that you won $3 million. And you're so thankful. I just picture, okay, my first thought was, okay, they're telling me I won $3 million. I'm on a ship. Where in the heck am I going to tap into this $3 million? Because he says, okay, you're gonna hand $20,000 to them for coming and giving you the information. My mind goes, where am I going to get the money? I'm on a ship. I said, oh God. So I need to rework it. I'm gonna be sitting in a mountain cabin or something where there's a bank 5 miles away. Oh my gosh. I hope your cousins are okay, Jack. Wow. There was a lot of places burned when I went to Arizona last year. A lot of places. I have my crystal back. Okay, okay. I get the hints. I get the hints, sir. Okay, so I guess we're going to wrap it up for tonight. We will do spiritual talk on Friday night. I was going to start the astrological readings tonight, but I guess I will start them tomorrow. Okay? So I guess we'll close that. So any of you are new, who blackballed you years ago? Your cousins? Your cousins, son? Jack, everybody blackballed you years ago. Okay, everybody have an awesome night. We do spiritual talk on Friday night. I will start the last half of June readings tomorrow. Okay? And it, yeah, I figured that. So if you would like to join us on Friday nights, we're here. We do spiritual talk. I will be working on doing Star. Are you going to be okay to do Friday night? Yeah, let me know too, Jack. Are you going to be able to do numerology Friday night, Star? Or are we going to wait another week? I will work on archetypes. I got to go through that too. I got the book right here, so yeah. And I will watch that video. I will watch George Orwell. I keep looking at the movie Hunger Games too. I think we're living out Hunger Games right now too. So yeah, both of you let me know how Buttons is doing. Okay, so everybody have a good one and namaste.